Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing great. It is part two of this mastering success and the keys to success. So we're doing part two. I don't have to probably explain myself, but there I am a few years ago. It's all good. So master the keys to greatness. So for me, in one of the things that I believe you need to be great in life and in business is communication skills, sales skills. That's why when I wrote that book, Investigative Selling, and the other one, Effective Negotiations, it went through the roof because I really focused on what everyone needed to learn instead of what I wanted to teach, right? So I did both. And I believe that communication is very important to building a business and to building relationships and working with your partner or spouse. And it's very important. So we're going to talk about one of the things that I teach at the big 2-day event. And it's whenever you're interrupted, do a brief summary. So I'm going to do a little brief summary of what we covered up until where I left off in prospecting. So I'll go quickly. Remember, we're doing part two. I'm just going to get to part two, but not until I do a little brief summary. So remember, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Never, ever, ever talk to a person or a company without giving them the opportunity to connect with you. So I'm giving you the opportunity to connect with me. Next, got to be fired up. You know, one of the things people say to me, why do you do this stuff? I mean, you don't need to do these Zooms or work with people. I'm fired up because I love watching your success. Your success motivates me because I watch you grow and it makes me feel good about everything I learned in my life and mastered, and I'm ever able to share with you. So get fired up. What does that mean, Omar? Well, you should never talk to anyone, 1 being you're dead, to 10 being you're blown it up. You should never talk to anyone unless you're a 7 to 10. 7 to 10. You can always adjust to their personality, but never, ever talk to anyone if you're under 5, because you're not going to sell them. You're not going to win them over. You're not going to sell your ideas. You're not going to raise money. You're not going to do any of that if you're not a 7 to 10. So the first thing is, we said you got to be committed. You know, I talk to people all the time and they say to me, well, I'm committed and I really want to do it, but they're not. They're not. You know the old story about the ham and eggs, right? Ham and eggs. The pig was committed. The chicken was interested, right? The pig gave its life for the ham and eggs, right? And that's how you got to be in it. You got to dive in, 100%. You know, I talk to a lot of people. They say to me, you know, I've got a mentoring program that I'll share with you guys later. And I really love doing that, but I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of times it takes a lot longer to get to where you want to go because things happen and you can't beat yourself up. But if you're totally committed to what you want and you're moving forward, you should feel pretty good. Next, got to be ready to go to the next level. I know people say to me, oh, I'm ready. No, you're not. And how do I know? Listen to me. My mentor taught me, he said, son, you don't have to tell me how you feel. Your actions are so loud, they're deafening. Let me say that again, because that was pretty good words he gave me. He's now 87 years young. Son, you don't have to tell me how you feel. Your actions are so loud, they're deafening. So what I want you to do is when you're talking to someone about what you're doing, make sure that your body, your facial gestures, and your voice is connected to the message that you're giving. Why? Because they're reading something different if you're not. Make sure that they're all in one. Next, you got to be ready to experience massive growth. I tell the story that when I bought my first house, I was scared to death. And Mr. Murphy says, why are you so nervous? I said, well, Mr. Murphy, this house costs $143,000 and it's going to take, I mean, I make just enough to pay for this and my Mercedes and things, and I'm building the clubs. And he said, Bob Proctor walks in, and Bob Proctor was friends with Murph. And he says, you know, Omar, you're going to be shocked, but listen to me. 3 months from now, listen to me. And I did because he was one of my great mentors. He said, 3 months from now, you're going to wonder why you didn't buy a bigger house. Because unseen forces, the law of attraction, so much different unseen forces are going to bring more income to you, multiple streams of income that you don't even know where it came from. And you're going to say, why didn't I buy a bigger house? How was he right? 4 months later, I'm thinking I could have bought $1 million home. My business went crazy. I went from 1 club to 3 clubs, and each club made 55,000 clear every month. So I had 3 clubs now. I could have bought a $5 million house, whatever, because now we went to 28 health clubs. And then anyway, the long story short is you've got to become that bigger container. I say it all the time. If you're somewhere where you don't want to be, God won't give you more than you can handle. Your goal is to become a bigger container. So you got to be ready to make more money too. I know it sounds crazy. You say you are, but if you don't know how to and not ready for it, you'll lose it. You'll find a way to lose it and blow it. Why? You got to be ready to make more money. There's principles that you must master for money, and it's not what you make, it's what you keep. So to enjoy a new life, you must understand yourself, self-mastery, that's the 6 inches between your ears, the tools, which is where I come in. I'm a tool master. And again, I'm just doing a brief summary. I'm going to get to where we are. And then to take massive and immediate action. I believe that the reason that I am here, not having to ever work since I was 31 years old, a few years ago, is because I took massive and immediate action. As my dear friend Les Brown says, you got to be hungry. You got to be hungry and you got to move. Some entrepreneurs have been sitting on their butts so long, they've developed this disease. It's called ascites, and they can't get moving. So don't develop ascites. As my mentor, Tom Hopkins says, Goya, get off your anatomy. Goya, get off your anatomy. Take that action today. You know, a lot of you have talked to me about working with me and you're like, well, I did this, I did that. But you know what? Where are you going to be 1 year from now if you keep doing the same thing you're doing? Make sure you take massive and immediate action. Conviction test. We said, got to be committed. So this is your turning point. I really believe that at the end of the year, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, crazy opportunity, maybe sooner, but I'm telling you for sure by the end of the year. So you got to prepare yourself, whether you're opening up a business, building up your business, starting a new business, becoming a speaker, mentor, coach, creating a consulting business, whatever you're doing. If you're doing a lead gen business, if you're doing real estate, whatever you're doing, start studying now to get ready for it, for the opportunities so you can move quickly. So our world is changing, guys. And the first thing I want you to know is that you've got what it takes. You have infinite potential. Now, my mentor used to say to me, Omar, you have greatness within you. However, yours is really deep. I said, what are you talking about? He says, you're got a lot of stuff going on. I said, I know my parents are poor and I came from Cuba and I couldn't speak English. Just stop it. He says, you develop daily, not in a day, number 1. That's how I learned English. Number 2, he says, you're like a diamond. A diamond is put and created out of tremendous pressure underground to become this beautiful diamond. You've got to put yourself under tremendous pressure. And I will keep you accountable, he said. So characteristics of multimillionaires. Number 1, multimillionaires are purpose-oriented. Got to have a why. Find your why. Why are you getting up in the morning? You know, if you're getting up and you don't have a why, you're not going to be motivated to get out there and make things happen. Multimillionaires grow to greatness by becoming mentally tough and reject rejection and see failure as only temporary. Multimillionaires condition themselves for success by continuous training and never-ending improvement. So you got to keep growing. All right. So there's my babies, Maxwell and Alexandra. I was in Laguna Beach. My first home, my home in Boca I just sold, and my home in California I just sold. So I'm going to buy another home as soon as the market drops. I think it's going to be like in the fall or no later than the end of the year. I'm going to buy another home here in Boca on the water, right? Put a boat on it. My son wants a boat. And I'm going to buy some jet skis and I'm going to buy another little home in Laguna Beach. This time it's only going to be like 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, nice little cottage that I can fix up and see, this time I don't want to be directly on the ocean. This time I want to be up in the hills so I can see the lights and the ocean. I want to see the ocean, the mountains, and the lights, not just ocean. So here's some strategies that I want you to think about. Wholesaling. Guys, it is a wealth of things that you can do with wholesaling. Buy existing businesses, which is amazing. Tax liens, fix and flip, rent and rent to own, and lease option. All of these I'll be teaching you on these courses while we keep going. So here we go. Let's get going. Next one. Purpose. I said, work to learn, don't work for money. Work to learn, don't work for money. You got to work to learn every day. Your goal, Brian Tracy, one of my mentors who did the last forward on my book, The Smart Startup. He said, your goals become better every day, become better every day, become better every day, become better every day. That's it, become better every day. And that's what I did. Next, got to be a PPS, a professional problem solver. And you got to master the tools of the power to influence and persuade, my books and programs, investigative selling and negotiation skills. And of course, all of my mentors. The first thing is to pre-plan and prepare. I have a little saying, any entrepreneur that wakes up without a plan is unemployed. That's right. Got to wake up with a plan. Got to wake up with a plan of action. How do you do that, Omar? Before you end your workday or before you go to sleep, write down the 10 most important things you must do the next day. Prioritize them, break them up. When you wake up, there it is, ready to go. You don't have to think about it. You've got action plans and follow it as much as you can. Next, prospecting. It's the lifeblood of this business, right? I'm going to cover that for you. These are the things I'm going to cover: building rapport, qualification, handling concerns, closing the sale, getting quality referrals, and keeping an attitude, a positive attitude. And you got to create systems. If I would have gone from 3 clubs to, 28, etc., and I didn't have systems, my whole company would have clogged up. But because we had strong systems that we built and we created and made, that we could really move forward fast. So your goal in business is create all of this. If I could show you guys how to do this, what would that mean to you? It would mean multi-millions. I created billions of dollars for companies, including myself. Billions, not millions, not billions of dollars. So you got to set sales goal. We're already into the year, so you might want to make an adjustment. Set the sales goals. Never do anything for reasons. Always do it for a purpose. You must set potent goals that have structure. Analyze your current situation. If you're only making 10 grand a month and you want to make 100 grand a month, then you know that you got work to do. You got to make another $90,000 a month. How do you do that? I'm going to show you. It's not where you are. Don't focus your goals on what you're doing. Focus on your goals and what you want. It's where you're going, right? So my business goals, let's talk about it. You have to take your business goals and work it from December 31st back to quarterly. So 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, then weekly, then daily, then hourly. Why? Stephen Covey used to say it. I used to love speaking with him. He'd say, begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. See, that's why Mr. Murphy and I wrote that program, Premeditated Success, because he taught me that if you're able to set and create your goals and visualize your goals and make your goals like they're already come true, then you can work back, and all you have to do is create the activities to get to that goal. That's another Zoom. So investigative selling is nothing but a numbers game. Let's take a look at it. Activity equals context equals close sales equals results. I can take any business you guys are doing right now and show you how to get to where you want to go by whatever number you want. We can work to the end of the year, like I said, 9 months, all the way back, and break it down to daily amounts. Next, constantly improving your conversion ratio. The key is to become better every day. Become better every day, as Brian Tracy taught me. Next, the more you do, the more you do, the more you do, the more you make. That's right, because if you're constantly improving, that means you don't have to prospect as much unless you have a bigger goal, right? Because the better you get, the more sales you get, the more referrals you get. So let's take a look at someone that wanted to make 10 grand a month. So they want to make 10 grand a month. And so in 30 days, my business goals are activity, 100, 100. How do you break that down? Well, they're going to talk to 100 people. They're going to get 20 referrals from that and make 10 grand. That means their total business goal is 120 people a month. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to talk to 120 people. That means that's the number they figured out that they need. Now, if you don't know how to figure that out, look at someone who's in your industry that's doing what you want to do and is making the 10 grand. And whatever they're doing, maybe they're talking to 200 people and getting 30 referrals. And then now their business goals are that, right? The key is to strengthen your mind, body, and spirit over the next year. You're the greatest asset you own. Work harder on yourself than you do on your dreams, and you will make it. So the most important sale you will make is you. Get prepared, pre-plan, and prepare. Wake up with a plan. I told you the difference is to work smarter, not harder. And here it is. Here's some of the ways of saving, properly investing your time. Eliminate unnecessary activities. Combine activities. Live by the word commitment. My mentor taught me this. The 12 words I live by. I must do the most productive thing possible at every given moment. I must do the most productive thing possible at every given moment. I used to put that on a little cardboard, put it everywhere in my apartment and in my office. How can you manage your time better? I said it before. Write down the 10 most important things you must do the next day. Then 10 minutes a day to plan, but discipline all day. Time management doesn't take a lot of time. It's a paradigm shift. Stephen Covey. Plan how much time to allocate to each task. Break them up. If there's a big task, estimate the time needed for each task, right? If larger tasks, take care of them, manage them, right? Then work on the most important items first. What's the most important thing? GTM, get the money. Got to make money. I showed you Zig, what he said about me. Showed you John Maxwell. It was John Maxwell's birthday. Happy birthday, John. And last week was Les Brown's birthday. Bob Proctor, we lost him about 2 weeks ago. Miss him already. Great man, great mentor. Thank you, Bob, for everything you taught me. Mark Victor Hansen, dear friend of mine. He's doing really great. Miss him too, but he's still alive. Anyway, regardless of what you're selling, prospecting is a master key to your success. Now I can slow down. We're here. There are major types of prospecting. First, number one, marketing. Marketing is what you do. Now, marketing is branding, right? All that, business cards, your brochures, your website, all the things that represent who you are. So write this down if you're taking notes. What makes you so special? What separates you from your competition? What makes you remarkable? Next, face-to-face. Being face-to-face, you got to get out. Got to get out. Telephone skills, got to master the phone skills. Referrals. Referrals is the name of the game. Got to go out there and get those referrals. And of course, social networking. Now that's different than that's social networking. That's your Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff. All the stuff that's out there, and make sure you go out there and do facial networking too. Get out there. Look at everyone as a prospect, or at least as someone who may know of you as a prospect. So if they can't own your business, ask them if they know someone that will let you own their business, your business. All right, so here's how it looks. Creating a funnel. You should all have something visual like this that shows how your business creates a funnel. So it should say face-to-face. Now, not just face-to-face, but how face-to-face? Is it BNI, Chamber of Commerce, networking groups, leads groups? Is it, right, going out and talking to people in grocery stores, Walmart, Costco, CVS? What is it? Convenience stores? Whatever you got to do to make it happen and get prospects. Next, telephone skills. You know what? I like the phone. I know a lot of people don't like the phone. I like the phone now. I hated the phone when I started, but I learned to like it. You know why? It saves you a lot of time. And of course, referrals. Referrals is the name of the game. So to get referrals, you have to first either build a relationship with someone or sell them something and they love what you did for them. So now they want to help you. That's the sales process right there, guys. Now, I couldn't fit all the other stuff like social media and branding and advertising and all that good stuff. So, investigative selling principle. Let's get into it. Building your business. So, strategies to develop new accounts. You wanted it, you asked for it, I got it. Here it is. This is out of my program, Investigative Selling, my audios, Investigative Selling, and my audio, Effective Negotiations, and my books. Strategies to develop new accounts, growing base. First, have a 360-degree window customer base. Preparation, research your client. So here's the key. Most people will go for the low-lying fruit. What does that mean, Omar? Well, they go for the lower fruit, and they only do one thing. Like, for instance, there's some real estate agents that only work with the wealthy. There's some real estate agents that work with the middle class, and there's some real estate agents that only work with people that can't, afford a home. They want to rent, so they rent, which is nothing wrong with that. However, why not have a 360-degree window of customer base and go for the wealthy, go for the middle class, and go for the rentals? Do all three. Now you got 3 times the fun, 3 times the money, right? Increase your sales by increasing your existing accounts. So go back to your accounts and ask for referrals, right? Next, referrals. Harvey McKay, who I've spoken with many a times, lives in Minnesota. He wrote a book called How to Swim with the Sharks Without Getting Eaten Alive. And he tells, when I speak with him, he tells the speech about everyone has a sphere of influence of 250 people. You just got to sit down and write it out. And it takes time, and most people won't invest it, but you've got it. So what holds you back? Why isn't everybody successful? Well, I've studied success for many years, and I've done research on why most people are not successful. In fact, they say that 95% of the world is broke. That's right. So every time you're in a room, 100% in that room, only 5% are wealthy. Now, that doesn't mean that these other 95% are not eating or paying their bills. It means they're not having a lot of fun, right? And I want to be, my goal at first was to be in the top 5%. Now I'm in the top 1%. And why do I tell you that? Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. A Cuban immigrant that can't speak English, comes from Cuba, can't speak English, and ends up being a multimillionaire by the age of 31, never having to work again. Guess what? It works for me. My training works for me. It works for my students, and I know it'll work for you. So here you go. A major belief to selling is belief. If this table doesn't get some legs, it's going to drop on the floor, and then you can't use it. So there are four or five tools that you need to keep that table up in the air. We call them references in sales. The first one is gotta believe in yourself. If you get up without believing in yourself, you gotta fake it till you make it, right? Fake it till you make it. Next, you gotta believe in your leadership. Now, if you have a company you work for, you gotta believe in them or you won't work as hard. You gotta believe in your products and services. You can't sell something you don't believe in. That's a con person. That's a person that sells stuff just to get over on you, right? And you got to believe in your company. Even if you're a one-man woman, one-man show, have a mission statement, create a mission, a vision, and create a company. And you got to believe in training. Guys, that's how I got here. I told all of you, I did not do well in school. When I became a student, when I met Mr. Murphy, and that's when it all changed for me. So if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to get what? same results, and you don't want to be at the same place 1 year from now, or that means you didn't study. Next, if you want to get the results you want, you got to change and do what I do and do what I do. Okay. When you do, you will become great. You will become great, right? So when you do, you will never again submit to lose to failure. It's called cause and effect, right? For light, there is dark. For yin, there's yang. For east, there's west. For anything you do, there's a one side or another. So the key is to do what you need to do to get there. Cause and effect, right? If you eat right, you're going to feel good and have energy. And possibly if you want, if you eat right and exercise, you're going to lose a little weight, tone up and firm, or whatever your goals are. The bottom line is for every cause or an effect, if you want to gain weight, then we would put you on a training program that you would do 3 sets, heavy weights, and eat a lot. If you wanted to lose weight, we would put you on high reps, 15 to 20, and put you on a nice lean meat, fruit, and no carbs diet and vegetables, just meat, fruit, and vegetables, and you would lose weight because you would burn, right? If you want to tone up and get defined, we would give you 3 sets of 8 to 12 and create a workout for you that's at least 4 days a week. Anyway, why? Every workout, everything you do in life will give you a cause and effect. If you get up and you do what I teach, you will become successful. If you get up and you lay around on your rusty dusty, you will not be successful. Okay? So my goal is that you all become excuse-free. Fear of failure. Most people won't even start. You know why? They're afraid. They're afraid. I don't want to start, Omar. I know people won't start anything. You know why? Because they think they're going to fail and they don't want to talk to themselves if they fail. You got to do it. Feel the fear. Do it anyway. Feel the fear. Do it anyway. Next, pain of change. Some people want to become millionaires. They don't want to pay the price. If you want to become wealthier, you got to change what you're doing today. Because wherever you are today, if you want more, that means you got to become more, right? Self-doubt, doubting yourself. Hey, I know I get this one. I did it myself. I doubted myself for a long time when I was a young man. And thank God I became a student of self-development and it changed my whole life. Blaming why you're not succeeding. I used to blame the economy coming from Cuba, that my parents didn't have money, that I didn't finish college, that, all that stuff. Justify or validating why you're not rich. You got to get out there and justify and validate it. And, tell yourself, you can't blame the government. You can't blame anything. You got to go make it happen. By the way, successful men and women keep making it happen. Next, complaining. When you complain, you draw more crap to you. The more you complain, the more crap comes to you. Why? Listen to me. Tony Robbins says, what you focus on expands. What you focus on expands. If you focus on crap, you're going to get more crap. If you focus on greatness, you're going to get more greatness. Lack of skills. You're not doing the things you need to do or developing the skills you need to become better. So I'm going to give you some tools to fight negative influences. You ready? Number 1, this is from my book, Investigative Selling. Expect rejection. Get the you out of failure. Learn to fail forward faster. Number 2, change something. If something's not working, try something new. Maybe you need to reword your opening lines or your scripts, or maybe your whatever, change it. Invest in yourself. Listen to, watch, and read motivational learning materials or music that gets your juices flowing. Mix it up. Talk to positive people. Hang around eagles, not sparrows. Hang around eagles, not sparrows. Manage your mental input. Consciously avoid putting yourself down. Use positive affirmations, self-talk, meditation. If it doesn't serve you, don't say it, don't own it, don't think it. Be careful what you eat. It takes massive energy to succeed. Jim Rohn, one of my mentors, with dear friends of Mr. Murphy, he'd always say to me, say hi to the family back home. And that he meant Murph and myself. And he was such a good man. He would say, treat your body like a temple, not a woodshed. He made me laugh a lot. Treat your body like a temple, not a woodshed. He said some people feed their dogs better food than they feed themselves. And that's true. You know that, right? Some people buy better, more nutritional food for their dogs than they do for themselves. And then you got to move your body, guys. I work out 6-7 days a week. The only day I take a day off is when I feel something. Like last week, I felt a little something in my shoulder. So I took a day off and I'm back at it. So Brian Tracy says about me. And he just wrote the foreword for my last book. He says, you won't just learn theory, but income producing gems that only come from someone who's done it. Tom Hopkins, my dear mentor, he says, few have ever taken success to the level that Omar Periu has. I've never seen anyone work harder on self-development and self-improvement than Omar. Now his goal is to provide you with the quality training and systems, and his motivation is sincere. I love my Tommy. Lou Holtz, dear friend of mine, the coach from Notre Dame. Now he's a famous motivational speaker and host for NFL and college football. Omar, you hit the important points to develop the true entrepreneur. Trust and confidence, attitude, motivation are not just words, they're tools to effectiveness. I know you and your systems will be a big success. This program has all the ingredients to help you become a winner. Lou Holtz. So let's get into it. Now, I told you about we prospecting, right? We talked about prospecting. Now we're going to build rapport. So we build a rapport that's building the relationship. I'll show you how in a minute. Then we create an interest statement. An interest statement is a statement that tells a person that you're talking to why they should be interested in your product or service. Bill, there's a reason why your 3 top competitors come to me for this product. And that is because we're able to provide him with the best quality service, the best return on investment, and of course, the best simple-minded relaxation. What do I mean by that? Well, it means that you're able to relax because what I'm about to share with you is something that will give you peace of mind. And that's what you want. Don't you agree? Next, gather the data. You got to qualify people, right? Benefits, features, results. You got to build that into your presentation. Cover all the details. A lot of deals go bad because people don't cover the money amounts and stuff. And then test close. What's a test close, Omar? A test close is testing the temperature of your client, to see where they are now. Are they ready to buy 100%? Are they 30%, 40%, 60%? Got a test close, right? Next, developing the qualifying instinct. I told you I would do this for you. So this is a qualifying process. So once you're in there, you want to qualify them. How do you do that, Omar? First, the best qualifying questions. First, what are you doing in this area now? So let's make it simple. Let's say they pulled in, so I'll do something most of you don't do. They pulled into your dealership, right? And they're driving an SUV. Now, past predicts future. So if they're driving an SUV, they'll probably want another little SUV, unless they had the little divorce. Now they want the sports car convertible, right? But normally, past predicts future. So what are you doing now? You walk in. Well, I have an SUV because I have 4 kids and we like to go places. Great. Then you say, you have an SUV. That's great. What do you like most about what you're driving? Well, I like the space. I like that it's got an entertainment center in the back for the kids. I like that it's got everything that I need and to put all the equipment for sports and gear and all these different things. Great. Let me ask you a question, Tom and Mary. If you could change something about your SUV, what would it be? Well, Omar, when we got it, we got that big engine. And,
We want to get an engine that's got enough power to tow our trailer. However, we want to be able to make sure that it gets better mileage because we can watch the needle moving on our SUV. Wow. So let me ask you, are you two are going to make the decision today? Yes, we are. Great. Then I become the professional problem solver. I just qualified them. First, they drove it in an SUV. They want another SUV. They love the space and the entertainment center in the SUV and the place to put all their equipment. If they could change something, it would be the gas mileage. Maybe they say something else like maybe more technology, right? And then I asked, are you the ones that make decisions? They said, yes, I've got my ammunition. Now all I gotta do is find the right SUV and make sure it's got all the things they want and take them through the numbers, which I'll show you how to do, and close them. So creating yes momentum. The first key, this is a diamond I created. It's a diamond. It's called customer focus, getting to yes. So the first thing you do is you point out the features. Point out the features to your product. I'll give you an example in a minute. Then you give them tons of benefits, tons of benefits. And then you paint pictures of success with your product or service. I'll stay with the automobile because I know that none of you are in the automobile business. Just so everybody sees that I'm just focusing on teaching. So they talked about they wanted an SUV and they wanted to save gas. So, you know, Tom and Mary, one of the features of this SUV is it has a 6-cylinder engine, but it's got so much power because it has twin turbos. That twin turbo will give it another 100 horsepower. And what does that mean? Well, the benefit of that, now I'm going over here to 2. The benefit of that is that you'll be able to pull your RV and you'll be able to load that SUV with everything you want and you'll never feel anything, any loss of power. And the results, what that means to you is you're saving gas and you have the benefit of having not the same horsepower, but more horsepower than you have in an SUV that you told me about. And that's what you want, don't you agree? All right. Number 2, I'll do the auto. And this a beautiful part of this SUV is that it's highly technical. It's got everything you want. It's got satellite. It's got everything you want. It's got a phone system. It's got, you know, anything you want. It's got a button that if you get stranded, it'll call for help. It's got every feature, everything you could possibly want, high tech. That's the feature. The benefit of that is, hey, you will not be missing anything for high tech and be able to plug in and play videos and streamline music for your kids. And that's really great. What does that mean to you? Well, gosh, it means your kid's going to be happy in the back because they're going to be able to listen to their own music. They'll be able to watch their own movies from their phone or from their iPad. And that's fun. How many times have you had it that they want to watch a different movie than each other? Well, yeah, that's one of the problems we have with that SUV. It can only play one movie at a time. Well, guess what? They can put their iPad connected to it and watch their own movies. Really? Great. What I do? I built yes momentum. Now, once we do that, we go into listening and observing, the investigative instinct. First, customers will tell you how they want to be sold. All you got to do is listen. If you do everything I teach you and study my training, come to my seminars, and some of you should mentor with me if you can afford it. And if you can, you should mentor with me because I get results and I will build you, your business, and anything you're doing. Next, here's Ron Reeves. I helped him with 3 Remaxes. I want to thank you for the superb seminar, Omar. Our sales have increased overall, contributing to your marked initiative sales techniques. Jim Pickle, if I was starting my company as an entrepreneur, had to choose one mentor to teach me the way to wealth, it would be without any hesitation or doubt, Omar Periu. Robert Vargas is another gentleman. If you want success in life, the answer is Omar Periu. He mentored with me. So closing the sale, stay customer. Closing is the easiest thing in the world to do if you've done every step properly to this point. So I'm going to talk to you about closing the sale. First, The first thing you need to do when you close is don't change. Stay customer focused and get ready to close them, okay? Here are my 10 tips on becoming a stronger closer. Tip number 1, assume that the prospect will buy. I would always walk in and say to myself, Omar, it will be impossible for you to fail. So write this down if you want. Act as if it were impossible for you to fail. Act as if it were impossible for you to fail. Number 2, build a sale with minor agreements. Make it easier for the prospect to say yes and no. Avoid any phrase or statements in closing that will receive negative responses. Number 3, don't get off the subject. Don't get nervous. Don't get off the subject when closing. Many a sale have been lost when a customer cooled off, when the salesperson got off the subject and used statements which induce actions like, let's go ahead with this, or let's set it up this way. Move the process forward. Next, back up your solutions with good reasons for buying, keeping them involved. The customer, how you will recommend, your recommendations will fill those needs. Return to the points that interest prospects. Make sure you demonstrate proof, such as usage figures, testimonial letters, case histories, proof stories, all of those. Be alert. Be alert for closing signals, such as statements and questions by the prospect. So a change of tone of voice, an indicator they're ready to own. Like for instance, you walk in, they're talking to you, and they tell you, I only got a few minutes, and they fold their arms and sit back. And like 15 minutes into it, their arms are unfolded, they're leaning forward, and they're asking you questions. That's a closing signal, all right? That means you're headed in the right direction. Next, don't oversell. It's almost as easy to talk yourself out of a sale as it is to talk yourself into one. Sometimes let them talk. Silence is necessary in some closing situations to enable the prospect to arrive at a decision. In almost any selling endeavor, price is as the biggest objection. It always is. Prove that the price is right. Show them return and the value close, meaning show them how the price is right and you'll close many more sales. That's the biggest objection. Be persistent in a tactful way. Don't give up on the first time they say no. A no is a maybe, the maybe is a yes. A no is a maybe, and a maybe is a yes. One of my successful students credits almost 40% of sales to making one more attempt to close just before leaving the prospect. So don't give up. It takes 5 no's to get a yes. 5 no's to get a yes. So don't give up on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Simple and obvious. Don't forget to ask for the order. You know, when my kids were young, they were really good at this. I told them when I was little, what do you want? You want something, you're gonna ask for it. So everywhere we go, Daddy, my kids were different. They wouldn't say, Dad, can we have the M&Ms? No, they say, Dad, can we have the M&Ms or the Kit Kat? Either way, they're getting some. That's called the alternate advance. It's in my programs, right? Daddy, can we go to Disney World on Saturday or is Friday better? Can you get out of work? That's an alternative choice, right? And if I ever said to my son or daughter, you know, kids, we can't go. And if you ever get stuck, just say this. Why? Just say why. You know, I have to think about it. And you don't do my clothes. That's fine, Mr. Johnson. Obviously, you wouldn't take your time thinking this thing over unless you were seriously interested, would you? I mean, I'm sure you're not telling me that just to get rid of me. So may I assume you will give it careful consideration? Just to clarify my thinking, what phase this opportunity you want to take over is the quality of service I'll render. Is it something I forgot to cover? Please tell me. Could it be the money? It costs too much? Today, most things do. Can you tell me about how much too much you feel it is? $10 a day too much? Well, $10,000. Let's take that $10,000 a month and break it into proper perspective. You'll be living in this place for how long? And you break it down to weekly, daily, and for what? $10 a day? Are you willing to give up this beautiful home? And if they say, you know, I still got to think it over, and you say, why? And you'll watch them go, what? Yeah, why? Why would you give up this beautiful home for $10,000? Next. So the foundation for success, the key to becoming a wealthy is work harder on yourself than you do on your dream. You hear me say that again. So the fastest way to learn and grow. Okay. My accelerated wealth systems. Here's what I want to do, guys. I'm looking for, I only need right now 2 people. I've already got 7, I think another 8. I used to work with 33 people at a time. I want to work with 2 more people the rest of this year and help them achieve their dreams and goals. So the way I do that is by mentoring you one-on-one, not one of my coaches, me, one-on-one, once a week, every week with me, going over your goals, strategies, creating the dream, making the dream come true, setting your goals, and creating activities, action plans, and keeping you accountable. So you got to ask yourself, is this your year? And I hope you said yes. Are you wanting wealth in your life? And I hope you're saying yes. Will you invest time to become? It takes time to become wealthy. Will you do the assignments? You got to do the work. And will you invest in yourself? If you're saying yes to 1 or 3 of these, then you're ready. You're ready to work with me. So how do you do that, Omar? I'm going to teach you how to increase cash flow. I'm going to teach you how to build equity. I'm going to teach you how to have appreciation. I'm going to teach you how to leverage me and you with repeatable income, which will then give you results with Omar Periu, reduce debt, complete cycles, and increase income. How many of you, if I could do that for you, how much is that worth, guys? How much would that be worth to you? Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity to work with me. Okay. So now you can work with someone who's already has the results, right? If you want, people say to me, oh, I want to get in shape. Well, find a man or a woman that has a body like you like to have, that's a personal trainer, train with them, right? Yeah, oh, I want to become wealthy. Well, find a man or a woman that is wealthy that you can find out that if they do the right thing and they know how to teach. You know, what is their teachability index? A lot of people are wealthy, but they can't teach it. I can teach you. Finally get focused, organized, and systemized. Start reaching your goals in your business, life, and personal life. Live the life you've always imagined from someone that's already done what you want to do. Guys, I have opened restaurants, health clubs, record companies, publishing companies, speaker, coach, mentor, you name it, startups. I have 27 as of this week, 27. I'm launching another book. I will have 27 books on Amazon. I'm on Audible, Teachable, Udemy, iTunes, Ucore, you name it. I'm on it, right? How did I do that? I worked my butt off and I learned how to do things. And that means I can help you get whatever you want. As my mentor, Bob Proctor, used to say, tell me what you want and I'll show you how to get it. That's what I do. Tell me what you want and I'll show you how to get it. So you learn to take action today. So what I want you to do, if you're interested, is to email me at info@omarperiu.com and I will get on the phone with you and I will talk to you and see if we are a good fit. Or you can call 561-843-1137, text 561, or call 561-843-1137. And remember, there is an investment, but I will make it very affordable for you. 561-843-1137.